Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking all things effects, and that means I'm going to be going through the whole range of products we have available in our effects range, so stick around. So I don't know if you can tell from the angle here, but you can see that I've got a big messy table here, and that's just because we've got so many products to offer. I've also included some examples of us using these products just to give you a bit of inspiration and just see what we can do with them. These products are so innovative. They've all got kind of multi-uses. I really love working with the Sizzix effects range. So we'll get started. I'll talk about everything one by one, and one by one I'll move the things off the table until we're just left with this nice little demonstration, just a really simple demonstration that I'm going to give to you using some of our effects range, just making some simple business cards and a bit of a card front there. So let's talk about the effects range. Let's start with the pearlescent medium. So the pearlescent medium, it's a cream that's going to give you a really lovely pearlescent finish. So if I move this around in the light there, hopefully the camera can pick it up. This strip here is a strip of our creamy acrylic, and it's not using any of the pearlescent medium. This one over here, and you can see that it hasn't lost any of its vibrance there, and that's a common theme when we're mixing our acrylics in with other mediums here, which you'll see throughout this video. It hasn't lost any of its vibrance, but it has gained this lovely, shiny, almost glittery finish. It's pearlescent. It's just a really lovely thing to use, and it's especially great to use with an embossing folder. So here we've used that pearlescent medium with the embossing folder, and especially this embossing folder, it's very angular. You know, we've got some flat edges that are all sticking up. It's very 3D dimensional, and all of those dimensions are catching the light there because of the pearlescent medium. So that's just one of the fantastic products. I'm going to move this one off the table over here. Now, let's look at these two products here. So here we've got the crystal paste and the crystal glaze. Now, these two are very different. They both give a kind of crystallized finish, which is really cool. One of them, which is the glaze, is very see-through, and the other one isn't. And I've got an example of two of these in use here. So have a look at that. This is it's almost like a sugary glaze there. This would be perfect for winter projects where we're trying to imitate ice and snow, and this would be as well. But this one over here, I want to show you what we've done with this lovely bit of, it's a glass dome candle holder here, and I'm going to be very careful with this. Now this looks like it's actually part of the glass here. This is such a cool effect. I can see people creating projects with this that they could sell at craft fairs because it gives a really high quality, elegant finish to it. It looks so cool. So we've cut this through, we cut a stencil with one of the dies, and we've just applied it to that glass round there, and we've got this lovely professional looking pattern on the glass. So that's where the clearness of the glaze comes in. So that's really cool. Let's have a look at the crystal paste here. Now this is a lovely picture of Pete's daughter Poppy, and she's going to be appearing again. Oh no, she's not going to be appearing again. This is the only picture we've got here. Enjoy it while you can. Look at this lovely frame over here. Now this is really, it's nice and tactile now that we've used the crystal paste on it, and you can see that kind of sugary, shiny, crystallized finish. It's just so cool. I can think of a million things to do with this, especially around the winter months. So that was the crystal glaze and the crystal paste. I'll move this to one side as well. So now let's have a look at the dimensional paste here. Now, just again to show you, we've made a little example here of just using some of that paste. Now, this is very flat. The dimensional paste, the purpose of it is to create all that lovely dimension, all those lovely effects. But what we just wanted to show you here is this is when we've applied some of our paints with it. So we've got the lavender dust there, we've got banana blast, I think, and then This one I think is Primrose. And they haven't lost any of their vibrance, so you can mix the creamy acrylic in with the dimensional paste. It's not going to lose its vibrance, and then you've got that colourful, lovely dimensional feel to all of these kind of strips here. Let's look at some of the things that we've done with it. So here is a card, and this was using some of that dimensional paste through a stencil. Now the beauty of it is in the name, it retains its dimension, so this is actually sticking up far off that surface, and it feels so tactile. It's actually quite deep, and it's just really stunning. We can do it on black here. This is where, and again, we're mixing the paints with it. You can create those lovely color blends, and on black it just looks fantastic over there. So again, we've used it on a stencil here, and then again, that's just another example of some of those lovely dimensional effects that you can get. And this has been applied through kind of a masked section there, but with our effects tool here. So that was the dimensional paste. There is so much that you can do with this stuff. There's just not enough time for me to show you all of the fantastic projects that we've created as a team with all of these things from the Effectz range. Let's have a look just in general. If you just pan out a little bit, these are our range of creamy acrylics here. Now, to illustrate how fantastic and vibrant these colours are, we've got this lovely display here with all the colours written on there. So we've got a mango tango, limoncello, green tea, agave. You know, I'm not going to go through all of the Sizzix colour story colours. I'm sure you know them all by now, but look at the vibrance of the colour. Now these are artist quality paints. They maintain some of their dimension as it is, so even just applying the paints with our texture tool, you can create these lovely textures. And mark making on the front of cards is just such a fantastic thing when you're thinking about mixed media makes and just card making in general. So they come off with a really lovely matte finish, but it's that vibrance that's just so striking. The colours are just very, very colourful, for want of another word, just so vibrant, really, really lovely. So they are our creamy acrylics. Now you're going to see these coming back time and time again throughout all of our Sizzix makes. They're on most of our cards. We use them all the time. They're really fantastic to work with. But I haven't mentioned yet, we have, as well as these colours, we have, and it's a running theme throughout our products, is we've got this gold, silver and rose gold paints here. Now let's just have a look at some of the makes that we've used the gold, silver and rose gold on. How lovely is it? This paint, rather than being matte, has got that sheen to it, which is going to make it stand out, especially if you're using it with those lovely matte, colourful acrylics there. So that's fantastic. But what I haven't mentioned to you is look what happens when you paint some card, leave it to dry, and then emboss. Because as with all of our creamy acrylics, it has an elasticity to it that's going to allow you to emboss, and the paint's not going to crack. This creates a whole new product in itself. It's almost like one of our opulent cardstocks, except it's been mixed over here by ourselves. So how cool is that? And any embossing folder that you already own, you're going to be able to create an effect using not just the metallics, but all of our whole creamy acrylic range there. So how cool is that? And then just a few other cards where we've used some of our creamy acrylics. How cool are they? Now these are brayering techniques, so it gives a kind of more distressed feel, but they are so cool. And again, look at the vibrance. I feel like I've said vibrance about 1,000,000 times, but I can't get over to you how lovely these colours are. Now, let's look at the 3D adhesive. This 3D adhesive is absolutely great. You can apply it in the same way that you can apply the dimensional paste, but then it's going to have a tack to it. So let's look at this over here. Here is the 3D adhesive applied to some black card, and then I've used some of our transferable foils over here. So the decorative foil sheets, come in gold, silver, rose gold, just like our paints and our foils and the aluminum sheets. But just look at that, they've picked up all of that detail in those lovely marks that we've made using the texture tool with the 3D adhesive, and I just think that is so cool. How about that? So on that note, with the 3D adhesive, you can create, the way it's different from the express glue is that it's going to maintain its shape when you apply it, so you can create all these lovely marks on here like that, which you can't do with thinner glue. But let's have a look at the decorative foil sheets that we've used with the 3D adhesive there. Now again, yeah, as I mentioned, they come in gold, rose gold and silver. Let's have a look at this applied through a stencil. And then all you do is you apply one side of the decorative foil sheet, pull it off, and then it's got some of the foil on. And what I think the beauty of this is that you don't have to have it so that all of the foil comes off in one go. It depends on the pressure you put on and how much you kind of rub over it before you take the foil sheet off, as to how much is going to have stuck and adhered onto that glued area with the adhesive. Now this has been done through a stencil. You can see it's got that dimension, and that's with the 3D paste. But you can see, if we look in closely, there are areas where it hasn't stuck. Now, if we wanted to stick the, to cover those areas, all we do is reapply that adhesive sheet, the decorative foil sheet, and then pull away, and then we transfer some of that onto there, so it's really cool. Another great thing about the 3D adhesive is that once you've applied it to a surface, it's going to maintain its tack. So even days later, you can come back, and if you need it to be slightly more tacky, you just apply a bit of heat with the heat tool, and it's going to kind of regain its full tack, and then you can use it perfectly again. So that is the 3D adhesive along with the decorative foil sheet. I'll move those over here. And incidentally, I've got a little demonstration just in a sec that I'm going to be using those foil sheets with. Now, same sort of thing, we have our decorative metallic flakes. Again, running theme, gold, silver and rose gold. These are absolutely fantastic. So when we're looking at something that's a bit more 3D perhaps, all you need to do is apply your 3D adhesive, let it dry, let that tackiness kind of stand out, and then all we're going to do is take a dry brush, take some of the decorative metallic flakes and apply them, brush them onto it, and they just adhere to that. Look at this on a 3D surface here. So that's for more of a distressed look there, and even through the metallic sheets, foil flakes, sorry, we can see those brush strokes coming through, which I think is really cool. Again, something like this is something you could create so quickly and then sell at a craft fair, maybe a Christmas craft fair, or kind of any season throughout the year, and have a look at how it adheres if you keep applying it to an embossing folder there, so it's still maintaining its detail, so you've still got all those lovely details on the surface, but they're covered in these lovely metallic flakes there. Absolutely brilliant. Here is the gold, silver and rose gold, so they're just really elegant and subtle colours there. Absolutely love it. So they were the decorative metallic flakes, and as I say, we do have loads more projects using these, tons and tons more, but for this video I'm going to show you a few. Now let's have a look at the aluminium metal sheets, or over in the US, aluminum metal sheets. Now the great thing about these is they're going to give you that lovely gold, silver, rose gold finish, but then it's a bit more durable. These are genuine aluminum or aluminium, so they're going to emboss really, really well, just like the picture on the packaging over there. You're going to be able to see all those different angles coming through. It's a really lovely product to work with. But if you were creating something that was maybe needed to be weatherproof or was going outside, maybe a hanging lantern or something like that outside, then these are the things to go for. Now you might notice this kind of area where we've created a distressed look in the middle of this one. This was just done with some of our black acrylic paints there. And, if we were to kind of just show you this middle bit, it really looks like actual distressed metal. It's given it some age and a bit of elegance, a bit of sophistication. I really love that product. So there we are. They are the aluminum foil sheets. And we're nearly at the demonstration. Now onto the expand paste over here. Now this is another one that is going to be really good around the winter months, I think, because I've got loads of ideas to create kind of snowy scenes with here. You can see that we've used a snowflake here, but it's got this really lovely finish. I don't know if you can quite pick it up on the camera, but it's almost like a foamy finish, but it's very robust actually. It doesn't change when you move it. So again, this is another great one for dry brushing or applying our paints to it. You can apply the acrylic paint to it before you expand it. The way you use it is you can apply it through a stencil or just apply it with the texture tool, and then you're going to heat it with the heat tool until you start to see it expand. Now you can make it expand fully so it almost pops like popcorn, which is really cool, or you can expand it just a little bit until you're completely happy with the results, and then you can stop. But all those little textures, again, really great for those dry brushing techniques and on the front of cards and home decor makes. So that is the expand paste. Now we have the luster wax. Now I've been really looking forward to showing you the luster wax. Again, so we've got the gold, silver and rose gold. But luster wax can turn and make into something really, really special. So whether you've created an emboss or a faux emboss or anything that's going to be able to pick up tiny details, luster wax is a really great one to use. Now you can see here that we've used the rose gold, the silver and the gold all in one because we've thought about that. We've picked colours that are always going to go together, so you can use them all together or you can use them on their own. So we've got all these areas that almost gives kind of a rusty metal effect there. This could be maybe something that used to be gold, something enchanted that you might have found in your garden or something like that that's weathered, and it just looks so cool when you turn it into a card make. So it's just a way of turning cardstock into something that looks like elegant metallic elements. And you can see here, especially when we're using an embossing folder like this, it's picking up every single tiny detail and it's highlighting them all. So it's such a fantastic thing to work with. Just have a look, here are all our different colours. So we've got the gold here, and Pete has made this. He's blended it from kind of thicker at the bottom, I say thicker, but just applied a few times to build it up. And over here, it's a lot more subtle. And these are both really beautiful, but just in their own way. Look at how it can turn an embossed piece of black cardstock into just something that looks like we've gone and bought this from a craft fair. Absolutely lovely. So, I hope I haven't missed any out. But just to show you how easy these are to use, I've got with me some metallic sheets. I'm going to go for the gold today, and I'm just going to be creating some business cards dead quick. I made up my own company here, Shine Studios there, and this is all it takes. So I'm going to take a bit of my maker's tape, and I'm just going to mask off the end there, and then I'm going to take some of our 3D adhesive. Now the reason I use 3D adhesive rather than just our express glue for this is just that it's that tiny bit tackier. So I will apply this everywhere and even onto that piece of maker's tape. I'm going to take off the excess, and then I'm going to wait for this to dry. While I wait for this to dry, I'm going to show you how we can also use it with our tape roller. So this is just a really simple card, all about the bling. There's no bling on this card whatsoever, so I'm going to add some. I'm just going to go along the middle here. I'll make sure that my tape is tacky there. Apply some of this. I love the kind of organic feel you get with this. And then you take a little bit, just one of these foil sheets. You can get so much use out of one foil sheet. because you can keep using it over and over again. But with something like the adhesive roller, that's a lot stickier, we're going to get it off in one go. So have a look at this. Now it has bling. If I just angle this round in the light, I love the way it's just taken to some of that texture on the cardstock on this side, but on the smooth cardstock it's taken to it more. And if I wanted to add more texture, which I don't necessarily, but if I wanted to just get a bit more, ooh, that was a nice one, then we're going to reapply it and it's going to come off even more there. So I can keep reapplying this, but I really love that organic feel. How about that? I love that. Such a really, really simple but elegant make. And finally, I will apply this to the area that I added my 3D adhesive to, because that thin layer will already have dried. And then we're going for more of a kind of distressed look here. Look at that, where it's starting to come off there. Now I can keep applying this until I'm happy with the result. Now, with the fact that I've masked it there, I will apply it just a bit more. I'm going to rub it down with my knuckle. Make sure that's really sticking. There we go. I'll keep going. And then just at the end there, push that down. Just fill in this last tiny bit here. If I take away this tape, we've got a nice smooth edge there. Have a look at that for a really cool business card. Now I have created some other little business cards, just using some of our creamy acrylic along with that. So these are just a few other ideas. Just something to show you how versatile all of these products could be. And this is just using 2 of those different products. We've got the 3D adhesive and we've got those foil sheets. I could have done a similar thing with the foils. I could have done a similar thing with the aluminum sheet if I were to cut it up. But yeah, so all around, absolutely fantastic products. And I really can't wait to see what you guys at home do with yours. So thank you for watching. I hope you've really enjoyed that video, and I hope I've given you some inspiration for things that you can make and just have so much fun with these fantastic products.